Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Angels Always Win 444. So today I'm going to be answering some questions I got on my Instagram. On my Instagram, I actually just kind of share more like inspirational quotes, just whatever helps me feel good and whatever I think will bring some enlightenment to people. And one of the questions I got from someone, we were talking about narcissism and narcissistic partners and how you can break that cycle, because it's not only narcissistic partners, it's narcissistic energies around you. Like, it can be your parents, it can be your siblings, and all it is I think narcissism is just an energy where it's someone is imbalanced, so in order to bring themselves back into alignment, they have to take from someone else. It's kind of like, if you are not balanced within yourself, if you're not balanced as an individual within your masculine and feminine energies, what tends to happen is your body and your mind, they want that from somewhere. And if you're not giving it to yourself, you'll seek it elsewhere. And the problem is, if I'm gonna use the example of a narcissistic male partner or female, whatever partner, in like, I'm like stuttering because there's so much I want to say and there's so much that wants to come out about it. But I'm making this video specifically for one of my girlfriends on there, because I really, I want to help as many people not go through that, because I went through that. And I'm also doing this on my Chromebook, and the camera is obviously very different. So I'm just going to be a ghost. I'm not meant to be on here. I'm just doing this because I think it's easier for me to just directly talk about it if I'm talking to my friend. So what happens is, if, let's say with the partner, right? This partner has someone that's just overly taking from them or overly expects everything from them. So I'm going to use the case of I'm a female, I'm going to use a male, exchange it as however you need to, male, female, whatever. Females can also be narcissists too, so male, female, whatever. What ends up happening is, if someone does not balance within themselves and they have inner child wounds, they will keep taking and taking and taking because they need to fill that well up inside of them. But the problem is, who are they taking from and who are they giving to? The thing is, if you don't have healthy boundaries established within your friendships, within your relationships, within your whatever ships, someone is constantly overgiving and someone is overtaking. And then it causes like a disturbance, because your body's like, wait, why are you giving so much to this person? Why are you giving so much to this situation? Your soul is like, why are you giving me away and not getting anything in return? And it's almost like you have this subconscious, like, annoying little like thing in the back of your head where you're like, hey, this isn't right, and it's not right, and it's your intuition trying to tell you like, hey, something's off about this relationship, like it's not equal give and take, you need to find out. The thing is, if someone is not giving to you, they are giving to someone else, so you have to find out. It doesn't mean they're cheating on you, it doesn't mean that they're doing something bad. Sometimes it does though, so just don't be naive. What ends up happening is, sometimes they are giving to parents. If you don't have healthy boundaries, people will keep taking from you until you tell them no. People in Western society, we were raised that it is selfish to not give. It is selfish when you have something to give and you don't give it. We were raised it was selfish. And guess what? It fucks everyone up, because it is okay to be selfish. It is selfish, but selfishness can be healthy when it is balanced, when it is for your own good, when you have healthy boundaries in place. And when I say healthy boundaries, I mean like, you show up to a situation, you give 50% just to see how much the other person's going to give. If the other person gives 100, it's kind of like, they're also overgiving, and they also might not have healthy boundaries in place. In the situation, like I said, with a male partner, the one I encountered had parental wounds, abandonment wounds, and the thing is, they don't want to see it. You can tell them and you can show them, and they will not admit to it. They will project their insecurities and their wounds onto you as if it's your fault, as if it's you that's the weak one, because they don't want to be seen as weak. And especially males in today's society, males were brought up thinking that they can't show vulnerability, they can't have emotions, they can't cry, they're not allowed to vent, they're not allowed to be weak. Vulnerability has been seen in the Western society as something of weakness, but the thing is, when you open yourself up, it actually is an empowering feeling, because it takes so much more strength to show your emotions than to hide them. It takes so much more courage and bravery to talk about what happened to you. Those things you were ashamed of, those things you didn't feel good enough for, those things that you may have failed to see the red flags. So you were like, you were ashamed of that person, that part of you, because you're like, how could you be so dumb? How could you be so naive? How could you not see that red flag? And it's like, sometimes it's not that we don't see them, it's that some people are really good at hiding them. So, okay, with the narcissism energy, getting back to this really quick, because I know I kind of went off track there. With narcissism energy, I think it's always an energy. People can, there is a narcissist, right? There's different types. I'm not getting into it because I just see it as an energy, where narcissism is an energy of being imbalanced. And in the case of, like I said, the one I had dealt with, he was giving to another relationship, and I didn't really see it. I knew it was there. I didn't see how present it was there. I thought it was in the past. I thought it was being handled in a very calm way because he would never really talk about it. And yeah, no, it was a shit show. Like, completely awful. But I'm smiling because I'm like, God, like, I was blindsided as shit by it. It literally blindsided me horribly. And so my experience was, it blindsided me so badly that I lost me. I lost myself, because the way I was approached by this individual was very, very like, gimme your love. And if I try to kind of reestablish healthier boundaries, like, you know what, I can't see you today. I don't feel good. I also went through a pregnancy. So yeah, got pregnant with a narcissist. Fucking sucks. But anyways, it's okay because I've healed, not completely, obviously. I still have triggers. It's like with anything, any traumatic event you have, you're going to have triggers. You're going to have wounds. You're going to have scabs that you didn't know were there. You didn't know you cut your ankle when you stepped in the water, when you tripped, And it's just those things where it's like, you heal them as you find them, as you go. Your triggers, whenever someone says something to you, your trigger is actually a very, very beautiful blessing in disguise, because it's showing you something, that part of you that is wounded, a part of you that is irritated, a part of you that is not in alignment, something you're rejecting from yourself. So that is actually what ends up happening when you're in a relationship like that, because this person is so wounded. They're over giving to another situation. And like I said, in this person, it was another relationship, and it was also the home life. Also, if you know who this is, keep the name out, okay? Because I believe everyone has a journey and everyone goes through different pains. So it's like, yes, I was wounded. I thought I was going to die. I did. Just spiritually, physically, I had planned my pregnancy. So it was awful. Because I was like, I knowingly dove into this shit. Like, I blindsided myself. And I was so ashamed of that. I was so ashamed of the fact that I had blindsided myself. I did not look out for number one. And honestly, I think everything happens for a reason. I think it was meant to be like a testimonial type of thing, where I'm just like, please don't do this. Please do not do this. Be wiser than I was. And if you do it, it's okay. If you are in a relationship like that, it's okay. Recognize the flags, put up healthy boundaries, see if this person respects them or not. And if you don't, that's kind of when that should be the red flag, when they're like constantly pushing your boundaries so that they can get their fill. It's really gross. So yeah, pretty much narcissism is an empty well, giving and giving and giving to families, to household, to overbearing parents that are like, oh, I need your help because I'm emotionally unstable. It's just anyone who is emotionally unstable taking from someone else because they're codependent on another individual for their happiness, for their fill, for their security, for their stability. And the thing is, if that keeps going, it's literally like boop, 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 boop. Like, imagine 3 little wells right here, and it's like this one takes from this one, this one takes from this one, and guess what? You're the one on the end here. When you're like dealing with a narcissistic individual, they are giving to someone something else. It could be work. It could be work that's overstimulating. It's just overbearing on them. And what ends up happening is, until you make the decision to break that cycle, to break that generational curse, to break that psychological fucked up pattern, by becoming whole within yourself. And hold on. Because otherwise they're going to keep taking from someone else, and they're going to keep coming to you because you're their fill, you're their freaking battery. And how messed up is that? That you're literally giving someone love and care and like I don't know, fulfillment. Literally, you're someone's wish. You're someone's wish fulfillment, and you're giving it to them, and they're going and giving and treating someone else better than you. Yeah. And I know that that's so demeaning. You're just like, God, how did I do that to myself? How did I allow that to happen? And sometimes it's just that you just didn't know any better. And the thing is, too, for the people who are in those situations and they are taking from others without realizing that they're overtaking, sometimes it's that they don't even know any better. Sometimes I think that people hurt people not because they mean to. It's literally the lack of education and the lack of self-education and knowledge and wisdom within their own soul and their own heart to know, hey, I shouldn't be doing that to this person. I was also in another relationship where this person didn't have boundaries. They constantly overgave to me, and I could tell, and it would bug me. Because, and it's so weird, right? Like, I went from someone overgiving to someone overtaking because I was like, you attract in what you need to balance yourself out. So I had to go through a very, very overgiving situation, which was lovely, don't get me wrong. But it started being detrimental to me because I had to put the boundaries up for another individual. And it was like, I can't, I'm not meant to be someone's mom. I'm not meant to, and especially within a relationship. As a friend, I will give advice all day long. Whoa. But you guys, I'm just gonna fade into like a little ghost background. Anyways, so yeah, as a friend, I can give advice all day long. But like, if you're in a relationship and you're the one having to put up boundaries for this individual because they can't put boundaries up with you, that is so tiring because you're literally like, you want to fight with this person. I say fight, but when I say fight, I mean like argue, bicker, discuss, creatively challenge each other, but you cannot because it's like you want to challenge them at the same time you're putting the boundaries up for them. At the same time you are defending them. And it's like, holy crap, I can't even have a conversation with this individual because I'm already censoring what I'm saying because it's like you're tiptoeing. You're just tiptoeing all the time, and it's so tiring. And I didn't want to take advantage of this individual. I was like, I'm not doing it. Because I didn't want to be that person who takes and takes and takes and abuses people. And the thing is, you can appreciate people for what they do for you, but then if they're over giving to you, you're just like, I don't know how else to appreciate you. Like, you cannot be in an over giving situation or an overtaking one. It'll mess you up both ways. I'm here to tell you that, okay? Okay, so back to narcissism. I had a friend of mine, and she asked, what things did you do to overcome that cycle and not fall back into it? And the cycle that a lot of people find themselves in is the toxic one, right? Where someone cheated on you, someone lied to you, someone manipulated you, someone was deceptive, however it plays out for you. And you keep going back. And what it is it's a trauma bond. You don't realize it, but you're actually almost addicted to those feelings, those emotions, because your body becomes addicted to your chemical release reaction. And it's like a dopamine hit. Every time this person is nice to you, you think it's a good thing. And it's like, it's not. It's very sad manipulation because that's just all it is. It's manipulation. And they may not be aware of it, but it is. So yeah, she kept going back and just awful things kept happening. And so the story I shared with her is I had a lot of toxic relationships that I silently went through because people weren't supposed to talk about their flaws and their issues in their relationships. And I'm here to tell you that I actually think that's very unhealthy. I think if something is going wrong in your relationship, you should talk about it. You should tell your friends about it. This doesn't mean go around gossiping like, oh my God. But it's like if you have a truly good soul tribe around you, a really good friend group around you, or someone just supportive that understands you and won't judge you. Like, I'm not judging anyone who does go back to those relationships because I understand how addicting they are. I understand how toxic they are. I understand how alluring they are. The mystery, right? The darkness. It's almost, and also if you're an adrenaline junkie, it's actually like kind of a bad thing because you're just like wondering when the next hit's gonna come, and you're just like, I got this. If you ever look at, if you've ever watched The Dark Knight, there's a scene where Batman is about to run the Joker over, and he's coming at him, and the Joker's standing in the middle of the street with no weapon, no car, nothing around him to guard him, and Batman's coming at him, I think, in a motorcycle. And he's literally standing there, and he's just like, hit me. And it sounds so fucked up. But that's actually a thing. Whoa. It's very much a thing. I would never condone anyone hitting you, by the way. If someone hits you, hit them back or run. Or get the fuck out. Don't. Okay, that's another subject. But, yeah. So it's kind of that thing where you're just like, bring it on. And the thing is, you think because you're so strong, because you've been through so much, you should be able to take that hit. You're meant to take that hit. You're meant to be this person's savior. Because you can. Because you can take the hit. Because you can forgive the person. Because you can psychologically understand them. And still love them. Because the thing is, if you unconditionally love someone, I believe I've unconditionally loved everyone. Because despite their flaws and everything, I would take them back. I would go back to those back then. But once you have healthy boundaries in place, you realize it's okay to unconditionally love someone from afar. It's okay to say, I love you, but I am not in love with you. I love you, but you are toxic to me, and I love myself more. I love you, but I don't fucking want you anywhere near me, motherfucker. Okay? It is okay to say that. And that does not mean that you don't love them anymore. It just means you love them in a healthier way, with healthy boundaries. And that's normal. That's what normal is supposed to be. A lot of people were taught, because again, just our parents just didn't know any better, just lack of education, because most of these studies, especially with inner child wounds, are coming out now, because people are now like, well, what messed me up? And if you just do like the STEM, like the recession sessions, like with the, I don't think that's what they're called, but like that, to me, that's what it is, like not regressive, recession. I don't know. Pretty much if you just track it back down, you know, you undo the spider web, you go down the hole, you find that a lot of stuff happened in your childhood because your parents are the ones who teach you how to love. And if your parents were very hot and cold, because again, they just weren't balanced, or if you come from an independent parent household and they obviously weren't imbalanced, that'll actually mess you up too, because what ends up happening is chances are it was like, for me, it was a female and a very masculine energy. So because because my mother was in an independent household, she took on the persona of a masculine energy just because, so it was like more disconnected and more action oriented because she had to provide for her children. She had to provide for the household. She had to defend her kids. She had to defend herself. She had no one there to defend her. So what ended up happening was the balance was off in her, right? So then she would emotionally kind of depend on her kids to fill her needs. And it's like, and again, it's that thing where it's like you take and you take and you take and you take. So as growing up, you think that you need to prove your worth to someone, that you need to prove you're worthy of being loved. And the truth is, everyone is worthy of being loved. You don't fucking have to prove shit to people. They either love you or they don't. They either show up for you or they won't. If they don't, someone else will. The universe always sends you someone else. The universe will always send you someone else. When they see that you're working on yourself, you're respecting yourself, you're loving yourself, that's when the universe will start to send you someone else. And it could be in the form of your kids, your friends, your family. They can send you someone very supportive during that time. I literally, she asked how I got out of the cycle. So, one, I realized one day that I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this is not me. I'm like, this is not me. Like, the fuck? I would not let this shit happen ever, like, in the past. I'm like, how did I get so far gone from who I was? And the truth is, because I had been in the over-giving relationship right before that in this one, I had an overtaker. And it's messed up, but the universe literally did that to balance me back out. Because in the previous one, I had to limit and censor myself on how much I received. And in this one, I had to limit and censor myself on how much I gave. It was really weird. But the universe will keep throwing these things back in your face because it wants you to see them. It wants you to recognize the imbalance within yourself so that you can balance yourself, so that you can have this beautiful, wonderful new life, new balanced state where, like, you don't need anyone unless you want them there. And it's like, and you're not codependent on them. You're not codependent like, you know, your emotions don't rely on what kind of mood they're having. Roller coaster relationships where people are like, oh, it's such a roller coaster. It depends on what mood they're in today. That is a red flag. If you find yourself like wondering, like, oh, I wonder what mood they're going to be in today, because it's going to like mess your day up, kind of, you're also being too open to their energy. You're also being too reactive to their energy. So, yeah. This is what I replied. It says, the best way to do it is finding your self-worth and valuing yourself over some loser who isn't appreciating your loyalty, because he knows he can lure you back in within a couple of days and acts of charm. And the way this happens too, and I fell for it too, for years. Yeah, I've had multiple bad relationships. They were good and beautiful in their own way. But what ends up happening is this person comes back in your life, right? Once they see that you're doing good, you look good, you're glowing, you're happy, once they see you smiling in public again, oof, that is like fucking game on to a narcissist, because they're like, well, my battery's recharged herself. Let me go and try to get some more. Yeah, it's messed up, but they will. The second they see you post some happy thing, the second they hear you're smiling, the second they hear you laughing, the second they hear that you're looking good, you're glowing again, ooh, that is literally fucking, that's like honey to the bees, and they're coming in to steal from you. I guess that doesn't make sense, because bees make the honey. But anyways, that is, I don't know, you're the honeypot to some creature. I don't know. A honey badger. Anyways. So they'll come back in. And they'll be charming, and they'll be kind, and they'll bring you gifts, and they'll offer you everything that they wouldn't do when you were in a relationship with them. But then as soon as they see you're gone, they're like, oh, I need to get this person back. Or in the case of my friend, she got text messages like, oh, baby, I love you, baby, I miss you. Oh my God, I miss that smile. I miss whatever else they say. I don't know. And then while he was doing that, taking from her loving, caring, kind responses, right? Because she's a good person. While he was texting her, he was out at the bar with another female. And it's like, do you see it? Where he's taking from her loving, beautiful, badass, kind self, probably at home chilling, watching Netflix, not on some other dudes, loyal, beautiful, appreciative. He's taking from her and giving to the one that he was currently hanging out with. And so the way they do this too is they'll bait you. They'll be like, hey, and that's it. That's the message you'll get. It'll just be a hey, just to test the waters. Or it'll be like, miss you. Do you? Do you miss me? Yeah, they don't appreciate you. They'll act charming and beautiful and loving and caring and kind. And this also is for abusive relationships too. Abuse in any type. This is like what they'll do. They'll get you to come back, right? I also know a friend who was physically abused and went to a shelter, and he lured her back, and he's like, baby, I've changed. It had been like a month or something. He's like, baby, I've changed. I'll be different. She went back, and like within 2 weeks, she could see the red flags again. She could see the mood swings. She could see the flares. The dates stopped. The presents stopped. The sweetness stopped. And again, it was back to the tiptoeing, the like gauging, like, oh my God, what mood are they in today? Like, am I safe? Am I not? Do you have any idea how emotionally stressful that is on your body, on your like body chemistry? It is stressful as shit. You constantly have high levels of cortisol going through your body because your body is trying to calm you down, because it's like, why are you so stressed out? And it's trying to help you, and that leads to burnout. In extreme cases, it will lead to burnout where you're just like, I can't do this. I cannot do it. And the thing is, you don't realize what you're giving your energy to. You don't realize what it's doing to you until sometimes it is too late. You're like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually broken. And the thing is, if you are standing here today, if you are watching this message right now and you're like, that happened to me, you did not break. They may have fucking kicked you to the ground. They may have kicked you while you were down, because they're known to do that, because they're projecting their insecurities again onto you. They're making it seem like you're the problem. You're the one making these things up in your head. You're the one seeing things. You're the one overreacting because you're having a normal emotional response, like a human should. They don't want to be accountable. They don't want to be accountable for your emotions. They just want you to give them all the good emotions you have. They don't want to be accountable for the shitty days you have. They don't want to say, like if you have a bad day and you're like, oh, I'm having a bad day today, they'll just be like, it's almost like the conversation just stops. Like, they don't even know what to do anymore, because they're like, well, I'm not going to get my fill today from this person, so I'm going to go elsewhere. Or they might ghost you. I don't know if that is a thing. I'm laughing because I'm just like trying to think of an actual example, and I'm sure it's happened to me. It happens to everyone. Just letting you guys know. And also, abuse happens to everyone. If you look through all my photos from the past in those relationships, I was smiling. I looked beautiful. I was glowing. I was amazing. And I was suffering in silence. I didn't talk about the emotional abuse I went through. I didn't talk about the words I would hear. Yeah. Homeschooling. But I didn't talk about any of it. And you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know I hadn't slept for days because I had concealer. You wouldn't know that I was so sad. You didn't know I was giving so much to a situation, because in public, they act so charming. They act so normal. They act like they're really actually taking care of your fucking ass. In public, I was like praised. In public situations, I was praised. I was constantly held. And the thing is, you think it's like endearment, like, oh, they do miss me. Like, we're going out and they are holding my hand. They are doing the PDA things. They're not missing you. They're being possessive and letting everyone know that you are taken, so that no one else comes, so that no one better comes. And the reason they do this is because they feel inadequate. They feel that you're better than them. They know you're better than them because you're being honest. You're being loving. You're being caring. You're being kind. Sometimes, social media posts will be perfect. That's actually why I actually didn't post a lot of social media things with any of my boyfriends, and I still don't, because I'm like, I don't want someone to look at this and be like, oh my God, it's so perfect. And it's like, but it's not. It's true. Relationships, real, cute, beautiful relationships, take a lot of hard work. They take those ugly conversations with each other. But sometimes what people don't see is they think that that's the highlight reel of someone else is what they think normal should be. So, like, the contrast and comparison, it just makes you feel like crap, because you're like, well, why don't I have that, right? If you see a post, oh my God, these birds are so annoying. I just now noticed them. But anyways, it's just all these voices in your head. You have so many demons you're trying to battle, and then on top of that, they throw their demons at you, and they make you think that they're your demons. And they'll be like, no. Like, I'm only acting like this because you did X, Y, and Z. You know what that's telling you? They're reactive to your energy as well. Because if you're having an off day, like I said, they won't come near you. Or if they come near you, it'll probably be to take even more. Like I said, they'll kick you when you're down. Like, oh, you're having a bad day. They'll still come and they'll kick you. And then when you don't give them everything they want, however they want it, they will blame you. They'll be like, it's your fault. Narcissists will make you believe it is your fault. And in a way, I'm here to tell you that it is. Because we didn't put the healthy boundaries up. Because we didn't value ourselves. Because we didn't respect ourselves. Because we didn't know our self-worth. Because we were taught that love, we're just uneducated. We're uneducated on what true love feels like. We're uneducated on what love is supposed to be. What it is supposed to feel like. It is awful. But it's not your fault for being too trusting. It's just maybe being a bit naive about your own power and how you are giving it away to someone else. So how do you like kind of come back from this? Well, one, you need to take a break. If you broke up with this person already, take a break. Don't go into another relationship. And I know people are like, oh, you gotta heal before you go into another one. And people are like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I feel fine jumping into another relationship, right? Because I did that before too. I'm like, I feel fine going into another one. Why would I need to heal? But the thing is, it's those little patterns that you don't realize. It's those little things that are like very subtle sometimes. You don't realize that you have them. Like, you don't realize, like, again, you don't realize that cut was there. So really just take some time to yourself. Work on healing inner child wounds. And I'll probably make another video of that, or you can just Google healing inner child wounds. Listen to positive affirmations. Do some subliminal reprogramming that's on YouTube. Put it on while you sleep. Listen to higher frequencies, like 417 hertz, like HZ. Look that up on YouTube as well. Do things that are empowering to your body, your mind, and your soul. If you're eating like crap, start eating better. Because no one else is going to fucking take care of your body for you. They're not. So you need to take care of yourself. And I know you're like, you want someone to take care of you because you've taken care of so many other people. But if you wait for someone to come and show up to take care of you, you'll be waiting like forever. All right. What else? Okay. Also, intuition, listen to it. If your stomach hurts when you're around people, ask yourself why it hurts. Chances are you're taking in someone else's like energy, even just being around them. And sometimes it's not good energy, obviously, so your stomach will hurt. For me, that's one of my biggest things. Or if I've noticed I'm by someone and I like subconsciously am guarding my stomach, to me, that's actually that's like me trying to guard myself from someone. Because you know how they say a dog shows its vulnerable parts? Is that a thing? Or is that when they're gonna die? Oh, they say, I think it's like wolves or some type of animal eats the vulnerable parts. They go for the vulnerable parts, so like the belly of another animal. I don't know if that makes sense. Or like the neck. But the reason you guard your stomach is because it's kind of that thing where you feel instinctively that someone is kind of like a predator around you. And I've had that ever since I was a kid, where I could tell by like people, even just the way they would stare at me, I could tell they had like inappropriate thoughts. And it's fucked up that a child can feel that. So don't be perverted. And if you see that happening, be an advocate for that child and stand up for them. And, just saying. All right. Okay. This part says, I literally feel like such a weak person about it because it shouldn't be so hard to walk away from a shitty person. I understand that. And the thing is, it's not that. What you don't want to it's like you subconsciously, it's not that you don't want to walk away from that person, it's that you don't want to walk away from the person that you were with that person. It's also like you feel like you're abandoning a part of yourself because you're giving up on this person, but it's like you're not giving up on them. You never had to even start on them. Their emotions are their own. Did they have a shitty childhood? Yeah. Are they doing anything to heal themselves? No. Then it's not your fucking problem. We can only heal the world by healing ourselves. The change we want to see in the world has to first come from within us. And it's like multiple badass, beautiful people had shitty childhoods. Oh my god, this is like super ghosting. Strange, but that makes it focus. So it's like, I can't hold my hands there. So it's like, I can't even tell you guys how much crap I went through as a child and as an adult, obviously. And I was like, when does it stop? It stops when I fucking said it was stopping. When I stop letting those lower vibrational people come in. When I stop letting those toxic patterns keep replaying. When I stop letting those toxic people come in. When I stop letting those people walk all over me. When I say no to the person that's like, oh, you have free time? Can you do this for me? No, I don't want to. If I want to, yes. but I will not do it just because I have free time. It's saying no to your friends and family when you don't want to do something. You just don't feel like doing it. Or if you feel tired, listen to your body. If your body needs rest, go get rest. I'll be very honest. So I just had my baby, he's 6 months now. But I had my first period. And I was tired as crap. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere. Your friends, your family, if they love you, they'll get it. In the moment, they might not get it, but they'll still be like, oh, okay, I get it. I still love you. Just feel better. They will still be there for you. And if not, then you're not losing anything by someone who is having an issue with you having healthy boundaries up for yourself. If my friends are like, hey, I don't feel good, I'm like, okay, baby, just stay home. It's okay. I still love you, and I'll still see you, and I can still text you. And even then, even if you don't want to reply to text messages, just don't. My friends already know me. If I don't reply to my text messages, or if I'm online but I'm not engaging in conversation, chances are, one, I just don't want to. I just don't have the energy sometimes to talk to people, even if it's good people I love. Sometimes I'm just really tired. But yeah, so then I also posted something on my Instagram. This will probably be posted on my Instagram. It's really long. I don't know what Instagram will let you post, but we'll see. This isn't working. Yeah, so free yourself. No one else can but yourself. You are the only one who can rescue yourself. You're the only one who can rescue that little girl that got hurt in that situation. You are the only one that can rescue that boy who got hurt in that situation. You are the only one who can stand up for yourself. And again, it goes back to inner child healing, because it's maybe you didn't have anyone stand up for you when you were a child. Maybe you were bullied. Maybe you were, the ugly duckling of a family. Maybe you were the black sheep of the family. I was that one. Don't worry. They're beautiful. But yeah, there's just, you really need to learn just how to value yourself. And the biggest thing is putting those boundaries up. Even if you're not ready to, even if you're not fully healed, and it'll be scary too. I know it'll be strange, but it'll be scary for some people. It'll be scary admitting it to yourself, and it'll be scary letting this person go. I had situations where it was scary letting someone go because I didn't know what kind of retaliation I was going to get. I didn't know what kind of obsessive behavior was going to come out too in some people. I didn't know when they were going to show up randomly where I lived. I didn't know if, the past one started a ton of rumors. And in the end of it, okay. And, at the end of the day, it's I'm trying to block him. What are you doing? At the end of the day, it's that person came back and that person apologized and was I was unstable. I'm getting help now. And even then, I was just good for you. I don't have to engage with that person. Just because that person's getting help and they're doing better doesn't mean I have to engage with that person. I am happy and I am proud with them. I'm trying to cover him, but at least it's dark. Very happy for that person that they're getting help and that they recognize they needed help. But I don't have to be there. I don't have to sit and hold their hand. And that's the biggest thing, the biggest issue, or I guess thing that you have to learn is some people you cannot hold their hand. That's why even talking about this, I wanted to do a video so I could really tell you how to do it, baby. You can lead a donkey to water, but you can't make them drink. In your guys' case, you're very, very beautiful, majestic creatures, okay? But I can present all the information in the world to everyone, and until you are ready to stand up for yourself, until you are ready to know your self-worth, you will keep going back to those situations. And also, if other people rescue you, say your friends show up for you, your friends are the ones that go at him. Your friends are the ones who stand up for you. Your friends are the ones who move your shit out of the house. that's also kind of hindering. And I understand in the moment it may be necessary. I understand that. But at the same time, it's like that demon is still there and you still fear it. And until you face it, it's almost like you know it's there. You know you shoved it in the closet. So until you make the decision to walk away, until you make the decision that you are worth so much more than what that person is offering you, that cycle will keep replaying. And it can get worse. I'm here to tell you it can get worse. And I don't want it to get worse for you. I want you to know that you are worth so much more. You are not defined by your past circumstances. You're not what your parents told you were going to be. You are not what the world thought you were going to be. You are not defined by the stereotypes placed on you. You can be strong and beautiful on your own. You are strong and beautiful on your own. But the thing is, this is something I struggled with too. What other people would perceive me as, or like the beauty they saw, or like the happiness and joy that they felt around me, I could not feel it. I could not see it. I did not see myself as beautiful. I did not see myself as like how people described me was really empowering. And I couldn't see it because I was so fucking blind. I had so many other opinions and like stereotypes placed on top of me that I was drowning. And I didn't tell anyone. And I'm really grateful that God sent me who he sent me, because I feel like they kept me from drowning. And I'm not saying they were there holding my hand. I'm just saying like they randomly showed up at the right time. There are guides and teachers that will be placed on your path, but it is up to you to walk alongside them. They're not going to hold your hand, but you can definitely walk alongside beautiful, wonderful people that are all around you that have gone through a lot of stuff, and you wouldn't even know. You would never know it until you asked, until you said something about your situation, and then that's when, like, that's kind of how me and her got along and found each other, was I started sharing things because I use those things, quotes and motivations and empowering messages. Even I follow a lot of psychology pages on Instagram, because that's how I healed, by understanding their side and my side. And that's showing compassion for the other individual, but like at the same time, compassion doesn't mean you have to love that person or go back. It doesn't mean you should either. And then also just it's hard, but as you move along, you have to find a way to forgive yourself for letting the situation happen in the first place. And I know that sounds messed up, but to some extent we all got to show up. We all got to be responsible. We all got to have, take accountability for our actions and the consequences that come with them. So it's about being very, very straight with yourself and embracing your shadow side and your light side. Do you have addictive tendencies? Do you have toxic patterns within yourself? I'm trying to get this to like look at me. Why do I look like... I'm just gonna glow. The glow up. But it's knowing that those things we're unlearning everything we learned as children, and it's okay to make those mistakes as we go along. Just make sure they never cost you your life, your soul, or your body. And also the thing is to watch out for is don't be too prideful. That's what got me, was my own ego, because I was like, that'll never happen to me. I didn't think of it as like a super arrogant thing. Like, oh no, I'm too good. Like, that'll never happen to me. Mine was, I am way too sweet. I'm way too caring. I'm way too kind. There's no way I would ever attract in some motherfucker like that. And that was where I was naive. And I'm taking accountability for it, it happens to everyone. Every walk, shape, size of life, shit happens to. And it's just about recognizing the patterns when they show up and asking yourself, do you want to engage in that? Do you want to be tiptoeing around people? Do you want to be scared all the time? Do you want to be stressed out? Do you want to be more stressed by a relationship than blessed by it? Like, is that what you want? If that's what you say yes to, then the universe will keep sending you more of that shit until you don't want it. The universe listens to what you want. So just be very mindful about what you're attracting in, instead of saying, I don't want someone like that anymore. Say, I want someone who is healthy. I want someone who is balanced. I want someone who is emotionally stable. I want someone who is enlightened. I want someone who is awakened. I want someone who is healing themselves. I want someone who is showing up for themselves each and every single day. I want someone who is empowering themselves. And because why? Because empower people empower other people. People build each other up. When people are doing good, if you've ever noticed, they're like hyping each other up. They help each other keep going up. Just go look at your back. Thanks. So, yeah, that was today's message. I know this was kind of long. And I would like to thank you all for showing up here on the channel. I'd like to thank you for showing up for each other. And I will keep sharing more of these stories. Honestly, I might just go with the ghost face thing because I might set the tripod up right here. I'm trying to figure out where I want to set things up. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, it's all about the message I'm sharing. So I hope this message finds you guys in very, very wonderful, good, and bright, like, grand health. And I know I'm totally ghost facing it, but I send you all so much love, so much light. I hope you have a very, very, very powerful, wonderful, beautiful day, and know that you have the fucking courage and the power to move forward because you are absolutely worth it. And I am like, I just want to, like, it sounds bad, but like, I want to shove you out of relationships, but I know that I can't because you would just be fighting me the whole time. Yeah, I'll keep posting more videos like this as I feel the need to, or as I get messages for it. And yeah, so have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye, guys. If I can get this up. Bye.